Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. How about yourself, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Now, for everybody viewing this stream today for the Buttery Show, my name is Mike Fallon, and I'm here joined by my co-host.
Daniel Mendoza. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, so on this retro review and breakdown, we are going to be going over the original Top Gun with Tom Cruise. You ready for this,
Hey,
bro?
heck yeah, man. Definitely.
All right, so first thing we need to talk about, how did you feel about, after all these decades, the cultural impact of the film and its relevancy in America after all this time?
Honestly, man, you know, this film, it it impacted. It made a big, huge difference.
Hmm.
Because growing up, that movie came out like in the '90s. And coming out in the
Yeah.
'90s, it was like,
Well,
you know,
87, 86, yeah.
well,
Back,
'86, yeah,
yeah. But
just by 4 years.
around there, I feel you're
Around,
still relevant.
yeah, still relevant. It was like probably one of the best action films back in the days. Because it
Mm.
involved flying these fighter pilots. So it's just like crazy. Seeing it for the first time ever. I remember like probably like, well, for me 17 years ago. I don't know about you.
Same, bro. Back in the day, I remember in the 90s and 2000s, I watched it a couple times,
Yeah.
and I feel like with the way that that I would say the show, with the way that this film was set up, it really is supposed to not just be about patriotism, but it really shows how being open minded and listening with constructive criticism can save or take a life if you ignore it.
Oh,
And
100%.
yeah, because I know we're gonna get more into it later, but I think the first thing we need to talk about as well is besides this constructive criticism in the workplace that can make or break you. What were your thoughts in the opening, mainly about how Cougar was fearful for his life and quitting, giving Maverick and Goose the opportunity to go into Top Gun?
Honestly, like I'll be honest with you, I thought it was strange at first, because it's like,
Mm.
you know, this is your life, you're gonna do this for a living, So of course, if you go into battle or anything, that it's a life or death situation, And I
Yeah.
didn't think that like he was going to like resign and give up. I honestly thought at the beginning when I first saw it, I thought they were already in Top Gun. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they were not, because like Top Gun, it's like the best of the best school, for fighter pilots, and that's what I thought at the beginning. So it was just crazy that he was going to that, the best of the best, and he just gave it up. Maybe he was just a panic attack, anxiety attack, just thinking too much
Mhm.
about his family. Because I don't know if you remember that part. There's
Yeah.
a picture of him and his wife and his daughter. So it was just like that was his main focus, other than his career. So
Yeah.
definitely on
Well,
that.
because I think with Cougar's character, even though he's not a main player as throughout the whole film, he really represents early on films actually showing how people in the service have to really deal with the duality of being a serviceman or woman and being that of someone with a family, and how basically you're put in these high risk situations because in the film it's very much warranted that with the MIGs and the enemy that they have to face in the film, it's not under normal circumstances. So I feel like with what he went through with that trauma from the experience at the beginning of the film, it makes
Mm-hmm.
real life sense because it's like he wants to be with his family and whatnot, like every other person in the art in any branch of the service wants to be in their family. But I feel like with the context of the film, I think it does make more sense now that I'm older as a person. When I was younger, it didn't quite click for me because
Right.
we're kids. Like we're not gonna
Yeah.
understand the severity of what it's like to be an adult or a man when it comes to these situations. But it really like going back over it again, it really makes a lot more sense now that he would choose his family over being put in a higher risk situation more than anybody else in the service within the context of this world.
Definitely on that, man. It's like, my respects to anyone who's in the army,
Yep.
navy, all that, because they're fighting for our freedom, for our country, and that's we have to respect them, and at least give a prayer for them because you never know, their situation, it's either life or death. So definitely.
Yes. Yes. So I think that that part of the film is really not talked about or immortalized within the legacy of the first film. Now that we're looking back on it, but I feel that that should be more important because, I mean, not even just as a country, but as the human race, we need to be better with looking further into spotting the red flags of like mental health illness or people having panic
Correct.
attacks or people that are in mental stress, because it's one thing to be in the service, but like to be in the service in this film in like a
Yeah.
high risk situation with a brand new enemy, it's just a overload of stress, and now
Oh yeah.
it makes me feel more for the characters going back and watching the film.
Definitely. Yeah. No, of course. I 100% agree with you on that, man. Because, like, when I saw that as a kid, it's like how you said, it was a lot different,
Yeah.
perspective. Because, like, it was like, oh, he gave up his spot, so, you know, Maverick's going to go to Top Gun. But now it's like, it's a little bit more serious situation. Like, all the people that they go through, all these, anxiety, depression, suicide, all that. So definitely that part that has to definitely get more recognition.
Yeah. Now, what now? Like now, once Goose and Maverick are in Top Gun, how did? Because I know that they went from Jester to Viper.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that transition for their characters' arcs?
Um, I honestly, I think it was like I felt like they needed more practice, because like if you really think about it, Maverick, of course, being one of the best top pilots there, but the problem with him was that, he was too selfish, too also like show off. He wanted to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the best of the best. I'm gonna, do my own thing instead of taking care of his co-pilot. You know,
Yeah.
so it was like I felt like it was in a way too soon to transition. You
Mm,
know, but it's all part of the film. But
yes.
later on he does transition and realize, like I can't be being selfish,
Yeah.
because you know even Iceman hated that about him, even though Iceman was best, best of the best as well. So
Yeah. I
yeah, but what
feel
what do you think?
I agree with what you're saying, and it's sort of funny. Like if from more of the like younger audience, I would say once they're in Top Gun, I feel like that they're the mold them into being the most refined pilot that is needed for that era to fight those enemies. And I
Yeah,
really feel like Maverick and Iceman's like character dichotomy, it sort of reflects like in an anime sense to make it more broad, like on some
right,
Goku Vegeta like character basis, or like on Batman Superman. It's like they're not there to like kill each other, and they're there to
correct.
work together, but like they don't like each other, and like that it has to be respected. And I really feel like what Iceman is that he really embodied what it is to want to be the best, but
Hmm.
not have his fellow soldiers' interest at the forefront, because he cared about being the top fighter, which means he wanted to step on everybody else to get to the top. And
Right.
as the old saying goes, being at the top is very lonely. Oh,
Oh yeah.
but yeah. So what do you think about that?
Um, I mean, you, I do agree on that. Like it's how you say, being at the top is lonely. I mean, like, you know, it was like it's kind of hard to explain, but like it's like how would I say it? Like it was just an on going on and off beef, but at the same time, it was like, I want to be the best. No, I want to be the best. I'm gonna get under your skin, and then he's gonna get under your skin, and just going back and forth, back and forth. But then like you know, stuff like that, situations and, consequences
Yeah.
happen, because I don't, look what happened to Maverick, you know,
Yeah.
he lost his partner, Goose,
Exactly.
so now, my question to you is,
Hmm.
do you remember when they become partners and they're going against Jester and Viper? Remember when right before they right before the accident, you know how Maverick was like putting pressure on Iceman, take the shot, but he said, "Oh, I need 20 more seconds, 20 more seconds," and so pretty much didn't take the
Yeah.
shot, and he crosses and got stuck in his what was it, his jet lag or his
Yeah.
jet stream?
Yeah. Yeah. The stream. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the stream. Do you feel like that part? Do you think that Iceman did that on purpose?
I feel Iceman did it on accident because he had his head so far up his, where the sun don't shine. He all he cared about was his stats. He wanted to look so great on paper for his ascension to everything after Top Gun. And it's like that's what I wanted to talk about with you too. It's just being the best. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. But the
Right,
best person in their field is always respected for who they are. You know what I'm saying?
right,
If because like that's why people want to be the best because they want respect. But to be a respectful person, you have to have that in you and have that at the forefront. And being a grubby goober who only cares about stats got somebody killed because it put
yeah,
him and Maverick at odds with each other, and Goose got caught
right,
up in that. And it's like there's a time and place for that, and that wasn't the time or place. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
a hundred
Oh,
percent. And sorry, and I do agree with you on that, but I feel like he did that on purpose, because how he, like you said, you want to be the best of the best. I
yeah.
felt like, oh, if I do this accident, Maverick won't have a co-pilot, and he won't be able to keep going for the spot for Top Gun. And
Agreed.
that's the way I saw it, and I feel, because I felt like he could have taken that shot. If you say you're the best, nothing's hard for you. You don't need like extra time.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt. But
Hey, bro. It looks like we have some questions in the chat.
okay, perfect.
If we can bring up some of the questions, let's get it. And here we go. Let's get the first one on here, guys. First questions popping up in the chats. Let's see. It should be popping up in a sec. Let me get this up and running. If we can get these. So we got one coming up from a Jake Gonzalez. Says this movie had one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. What are your guys' favorite songs from this film?
Ooh, mine definitely Danger Zone. Like
Yeah, that's
definitely.
it.
That it's crazy. Every time I hear that song, man, it pumps me up, and like it pumps me up to like try to like or achieve my goals and dreams. Every time I hear it, just
Yeah.
yeah. What about you? Is that one of your top ones too?
That's the number one for me.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another one here from a Eric Williams. What would your Top Gun code names be, or fighter pilot names?
Ooh, that's a
Mm.
tough one. Do you have anything in mind?
I mean, personally, if I had to go off like based on because you know me outside of this personally, so I would use probably one of my
Yeah.
dance names, like either like Kingdom Kid or like El Torito would be mine, or if I had to pay homage to my grandfather who served,
Yeah.
um, it'd be a Emerald. That'd be my
Emerald.
code.
Nice.
Emerald. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Huh. That one for me would be tough. I think. Huh. Oh, that's kind of tough. That's a good question. I think for me, it'd probably be my what would it be?
It
I
could be
think if
any,
anything, that's tough, man. That's a good question.
it's like anything that's personal to you based on like a favorite character, something you can
Yeah.
relate to, something you feel embodies who you are.
I, I think it'd probably be. I think it probably would be cowboy, just because I'm into like riding horses and into that that
Mm,
farm life. So I think that would be cowboy.
dang, that'd
Just
be tight.
yeah, I think that's a good one. Just because I love that lifestyle. So
Yeah, if I had to do one based on food, I would call myself Menudo.
menudo, why that?
Because I love Mexican food, dog. You know this. That's how I got this body frame. Shoot.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, let's see what other what other questions we have popping up here, guys. Let's see. So after that, it says from the Morphin Network. How y'all doing? Top Gun Rangers. Hashtag Mighty Morphin Top Gun Rangers. We got another one here from Eric Williams. It says Goose's death is one of the saddest moments in cinema. I agree.
100%. It's yeah, it's up there. Definitely.
Yeah, and then from the Facebook page, we got Brendan Mitchell, who is a fellow movie reviewer from Wet Movie One. He said, "What's up, nerds?" He dug the new Top Gun movie. Yeah, we did too.
Yeah,
It was good,
definitely. It
bro.
lives up to its name. Honestly.
Yeah, and I think not going into Maverick right now, but still going to Maverick. I feel personally, as someone who loves
Mhm.
movies, I love that they preserve the original film cell still, and they're able to
Oh
update them to 4K. Because when you see the flashbacks in the new one of this film, it looks look
yeah.
crisp.
Oh yeah. That plus two. What I liked is they still keep the originals, some of the originals from the first. Especially
Yes,
like Danger Zone. Yeah. So definitely.
yes. And how did you feel about Maverick's relationship with Charlie in this film?
Um, I felt
Yeah,
honestly like it was like any other romance. But I felt I felt good about it. Like just like in ordinary basis. If you like you either choose like love or to be the best. But at the same time it was kind of difficult in a way because it was his teacher, one of the best, and
yep,
plus two, it was like in parts of the movie she had to hide her love for him and at the same time be professional as well.
yeah, yeah.
you know
I
you
I
know
think that, yeah,
sorry, and then I was going to say too, it's like
yeah.
you can't show just because you're in love with that person, you can't show that, oh, yeah, he's definitely the best of the best just because I'm in love with him.
Yeah, I feel like that's why this film has persevered through time as it is. It's even though it's from the '86, it has a lot of layered tones and themes to it that are still relevant that we deal with to this day. Like
Yeah,
workplace relationships, like when it comes to like of a like romantic sexual nature or rivalry, how that affects everybody because it's like I said, this is a high risk job that they chose to be in
of
and
course.
it's just like because it's like it affects everybody and if you're lucky enough you'll be old enough to become like Jester or Viper, but then it's like you got people like Merlin up in there, you got Hollywood, you have all the
Yeah,
other pilots that are just trying their best to survive and do their duties, but then it's like they, even though they're there trying to go with the flow, it's
yeah.
like they're not helping too much because they're not there squashing the ego of Maverick Iceman, because I feel like accountability needs to be more prevalent in these type of situations because people's lives are on the line if they f up, and
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
yeah. So I just personally feel the film. I think I'm glad it showcased all of that. It's like, yo, you guys are, yeah, you're soldiers. You're trying to fight for America. We get that, but you got to make sure to check your boy because if you don't, whether it's Maverick Iceman, people can get caught up, and we saw the blunt force of that when Goose broke his neck trying to evac.
Yeah, definitely.
And I
That,
feel
that
like,
was,
yeah,
go ahead, man. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say, but that's why I feel it's like a great thing about this film is that that's so prevalent to this day. We've seen that in film and TV, comics and video games, and storytelling in general. It's like it's the age old tale. It's like, okay, we understand you have your own goals, but don't hurt people on their way up.
Yeah.
and be considerate of those around you for your own longevity and for mutual respect and the continue the prolonged longevity of either humanity or your work or whatever ecosystem you're in.
Definitely. Definitely on that, man.
Yeah, and there's some checks. See, we got more
Any more
chats.
questions?
Not yet. Um. Okay, here we go. Now they're physically showing up on there. Those
Oh
ones.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're fun.
yeah, yeah. So what else did you want to discuss about the film that stuck out to you?
um, I think what I wanted to talk about was, actually, I had a question. What do you think? Like, because in the real world, the best of the best school, it's actually not called Top Gun. Have you have you heard
Yeah,
about that?
yeah,
Do you think they should change it to, because I think it's U.S. Navy, what is it, U.S. Navy weapons weapons something school, I always forget. uh
yes.
because like watching that movie Top Gun, like as a little boy, I didn't, like, till now I didn't realize, like, oh, the school is not called Top Gun.
It's just a
It's
nickname.
called it's Yeah, it's just a nickname. I always thought, like, wow, it's called Top Gun. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like awesome, but it's only between, like, pilots that call it that. They don't actually call it.
Well, I think that the movie made that decision for all of us by it
Yeah,
being this popular. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it is how it is. So, or it is what it is. But I feel like if they actually wanted to rebrand it, that'd be cool. But I really don't think pressure from the movie audience would translate to the military in that branch.
right. Yeah,
So,
definitely on that, man. Right on
mm,
that part. Yeah,
man, I really feel like this film is timeless in the sense of I also feel like it does show the positivity as well, not just the toxic side, but the positivity of having a brotherhood environment.
yeah,
So I really dug that part of it too.
100%, and I agree with you on that, because, like, it you know it showed, they literally did everything together, from, the showering together to playing volleyball to going to the bar and everything.
Everything.
So it was, like, everything, even to picking up girls. Remember the first part
Oh
when
yeah,
Maverick tries to get at Charlie and
and
does
that
that singing.
bro, and I love that there's something similar, but in a non-sexual way in the sequel, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely on
what
that.
I'm talking about. When we get to that
Yeah.
discussion, you'll know.
Oh, definitely on that part. Wait, now, you remember that part where he's singing to her to meet her for the first time, just to try to catch her attention. Do
Man,
you
yeah.
do you think doing something like that, like in this time, do you think that would still work, or?
I think nowadays our culture is different because of social media. So it's like it depends on the woman. I mean, if they're like, oh, okay, well, this is cool, then they'll be chill with it. Otherwise, they'll be like, the guy's a creep, or is he doing this for a TikTok video? So
Yeah, oh, you're right on that. Yeah,
people's responses are varied now based on social media. It's like that's why sometimes people just stand there and record instead of interacting with others or
yeah,
stepping in to help out somebody.
right.
So I think, but back then, yes. Before the
Back
internet,
then, yeah.
yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we got another comment. It says, it's from Ryan Buetta, freaking Ryan. It says, Chocolate Thunder equals Goose, and Horchata Blizzard is Maverick. Gold Nugget is Iceman. Shut up,
Oh
Ryan.
god.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. That's nuts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So all the graphics are popping up now from the previous questions we answered.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what else can we talk about? I mean, I think Tony Scott did a really good job of fleshing out the characters. What are your
Yeah.
feelings on the believability of these people, their acting, and it would it be like that in real life during that time frame?
I mean, honestly, it's and they did in the movie. They did a great job. Every actor. It's just everyone's great. But I feel like in transition to nowadays, it'd be a little bit tough.
Oh yeah.
But because like now, like back in the day, I don't know if they actually like used, like actual fighter pilots, like to like in Top Gun Maverick, they actually used you know actual MiG 28s and all that, but it was like a different time back then.
Yeah.
So, but overall, it does it has transitioned well, you know, but you know.
So
I honestly
so
think he did a great job and everything. So
so you feel that he fleshed out the characters good enough, and they could be
yeah,
believable characters. All right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Just because like
Bro.
it's technically like in real life. Everyone has a code name. Everyone trying to be the best. Not everyone gets to be the best. So it's like it all worked out perfect into real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's applied nowadays instead of like trying to be in the military and all this stuff. People are trying to use code names on social media to be the best influencer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody
Definitely
wants to
on
be
that. Yeah.
everybody's trying to be a maverick or an Iceman, but sometimes it's end up like Goose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely on that, man. Definitely on that.
yeah. For me, it's like even though we didn't get like enough time with him because I love him as an actor, Michael
Hmm.
Ironside as Jester. I really dug it, but Michael Ironside overall, I feel like he's an incredibly underrated actor, and it's just to see him and like Tim Robbins and all these other prominent actors in the film. It warmed my heart to see it when we like went over it again to see the original. But for me, I
Yeah.
just got to give him a shout out because Michael Ironside, I feel, is one of the best actors of his generation. Period. And to see him be a part of this, it makes me even understand further, and it cements my understanding more of why this movie made the impact it did because you had heavy hitters like Michael in the story.
Yeah. Definitely on that part. Yeah, he was he's an amazing actor. He came out in all these great films in
Hmm
80s and 90s.
Like this, like
Definitely gotta.
Scan, bro. He was in Scanners, which is like one of the best horror films of all time, and he played Darkseid in the Justice League animated series.
Oh, nice,
Yes, that's
nice.
basically,
Yeah.
and also he played Rico's teacher in the
Oh yeah, I was about
military,
to say in the
and
for
yes,
Starship Troopers.
so
Yeah.
I think that this role, which makes while we bring all this other stuff, this helped carry his career to those
Yeah.
opportunities be given to him because it's like he proved it in Top Gun. He had what it takes to be a type of lecturer, teacher, and leader in the capacity that he was in, which would
Yeah.
lead him to be like the lead villain in Scanners. I mean, which was like around this time, but and then like Dark Side and Justice League, and then being the another military esque teacher with the Marines this time in
The
Starship
Marines. Yeah.
Troopers. So
Definitely on that, man. Yeah.
yeah, let me double check see if we get more questions. Alrighty, no more questions. I mean, I feel like we basically covered up everything. Unless you want to bring up something else about another aspect of this film you want to talk
Uh.
about.
Other aspects. I think we got everything. Trying to remember. Last part. I think my last question would be, which character would you like to play in the film?
If they had to do a reboot and I got a chance to play one,
Yeah.
huh? Now, if it was if I didn't care about screen time and I wanted to play somebody for their prevalence more than their screen duration, I would actually go into Cougar. I'll
Cougar.
play him because I would want to. But if it was like a modern retelling, I feel like it would need to be a longer film and to show the severity of the weight of being that type of soldier in that specific context versus the rest of the film. And then plus he came back towards the end, well not well what I mean, like towards the end of the film they had like they had a Maverick and Iceman help like fight the six MiGs for the
Yeah.
redemption arc. So I feel like, just have him come back in the end if they did like a reboot. And if I had a chance to play him, I would do that. Or if I had to play older, because I love Michael Ironside, I would definitely play Jester. Like
Jester.
Jester, yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah.
Like yell at the new Tom Cruise. If I'd be Timothy Chalamet or something like that.
Yeah, definitely on that.
Tom Holland doing his best like Tom Cruise impersonation. How about you?
um, I think honestly, you know, first, for like the younger generation, I think it would be fun playing Goose. Just because like
Mm,
he's always like I mean, when it comes to his work, he's serious, but at the same time, he's himself. He's I guess you could say a goofball. Like just enjoying life in general. And just trying to keep Maverick like in a way too. It probably like helps him like
mm.
the what do you call it like
I mean, it's Wingman.
yeah, as wingman, but at the same time, like, Maverick sometimes could feel so much pressure, that Goose, maybe helps him, not be in less pressure, because I
Mm,
mean, if you think about it, you're the Maverick's the one flying, although Goose, he has his back trying to find, all the enemies through the radars and everything. So that would definitely be fun, to play him, and just like I just liked him a lot. He was cool, awesome, funny, but at the same time when it came to like seriousness, he was serious.
yeah, I agree. And I feel like, with the time frame that it came with, I think the special effects were pretty believable, and they still has to hold up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely the special effects, especially, back in the day there wasn't so much, technology till now,
Yeah.
a lot different. So definitely, special effects, they were great. Definitely.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree on that. And I really, the thing I think a great fact about this film is that parts of it, for personal reasons, as you can relate,
Mhm.
is that a lot of it's filmed in Oceanside, California, and San Diego, which was I
Oh,
think,
definitely, man.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's all. It's awesome. And the funny thing, um, you know, to go into that Miramar airspace, not anyone can go in there. For like it was pretty cool for a work I do. Right now I drive a tow truck. And it was like 3 years ago I was able to go into that base where they filmed Top Gun. So it
So
was just
crazy.
like, yeah, it was just crazy. I had to like drop off a car and stuff in there because they were having like they do like every year that I forget what it's called, but they do that air show in
Hmm.
Miramar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do all that. Yeah, and like they like it's like top line security. They check you in, they check everything. It's up and down. They check your truck, all that, and they tell you, just follow this route, and they'll take you into the Miramar base. And just going in there was like, wow, like I was just like, I was in shock, because it was like, dang, this is where they filmed Top Gun, and then you got to see like all the fighter pilots and everything. So it's like it was just an amazing,
Yeah.
even though you know I wish I was able to be in that film, but it felt like I was in it, just being in that station. So it was
Man.
definitely one of the best days of my life for sure.
Man,
Yeah,
that's nuts, bro.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I think that was another thing about the film that was really cool is that it was based in San Diego because there are
yeah.
military bases out there, and I think the relevance of that made it more real world and more relatable, especially for people from San Diego. So
Yeah, definitely. And it was like, when I saw that film as a kid, I'd never realized like it was filmed here, in Oceanside and San Diego. So it's like,
yeah,
like in Oceanside how they have that house. I would always drive by it and be like, why is that house abandoned? So like, getting older, I realized, oh, that's the Top Gun house. Everyone calls it that, the Top Gun house.
yeah, I know, man,
Yeah,
and I think that's a testament to the cinematography of the film, which is
yeah,
beautifully shot.
yeah. Oh, definitely, man. That was, it was a great shot. Just like how beautiful Oceanside is. Walking through that. So definitely a
Yeah,
great milestone there.
heck yeah. Well, I mean, is there anything else you want to bring up before we wrap right now?
Um, no, I mean that's pretty much it. I think we covered mostly. I think we covered everything. If you think about it, you got any questions or?
Nah, man, that's about it. I think that's
Yeah,
about it. We did a good 35 minutes of just our love for Top Gun.
yeah, definitely. Anyone else have any comments or questions or anything like that?
Yeah, let me take a look right now to see if I can find them. And I don't see any more comments. I think we're good to go.
Awesome, cool.
All right, guys, this has been Mike Fallon.
And Daniel Mendoza, thank you for your time, guys.
Of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Buttery Show and our retro review of Top Gun. We'll catch you on
Peace.
the next one.